Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. Today, I want to just talk a little bit about some of my predictions, just so that everyone can find their way to stay tuned to their angels and guides and understand how to navigate some of the changes that are happening. And they're really, really, really difficult at first, but we have our guides and angels with us. We are eternal beings. And if we choose to stay on earth, then we need them. And you need to know how to get in touch with them. So earlier, I did a video on clairaudience recently. It's the recent one, not the one with clairaudience and the kitties, but you can listen to that as well. So there was a video I did with that about how to stay tuned to your angels and guides based upon a client of mine who really wanted to develop her clairaudience. All right. So I do want you to watch that video. I will do my best to link it right after this one. But right now, I just want to go back and talk about a previous prediction I had regarding the pandemic, because the newer prediction is based upon that. All right. So in November 2019, mid-November, I received 8K N99 masks in the mail by mistake. I was told I didn't have to pay for them. I put them in a donation pile. And then the voice that I get clairaudiently came in strong, really strong, like echoed through my body, in fact, not just in my head. And it said, "These masks are not a mistake. They're meant for you. Put them somewhere where you won't forget where they are. Devastation is coming." That was one of the main things they said. I think that was the second sentence they said. Devastation is coming, and put these masks somewhere where you won't forget where they are. So a couple years later, maybe 2.5 years later, right? So we're halfway in between this cycle from then to now. I got another message just when I, excuse me, it's springtime here in Philadelphia. We got lots of green pollen everywhere. So all over. Anyway, so I get another message from Spirit while I'm doing a gratitude exercise. So this pandemic ripped me apart financially, you know, psychologically. It wore hard on me, to have so many changes thrust upon me and to have to completely redo my life. But you know what? Those things needed to change. I really in my heart wanted to go working more from home anyway, and not dependent upon other things. And I really, really like not having dance studios anymore. I like teaching on Zoom, and I like YouTube, and I like my Airbnb. So I was expressing gratitude, because I really love teaching on Zoom. I get a more flexible schedule. I'm not running around to all these different dance studios and promoting big shows and things like that and bringing guests in to the studio, which was really fun. It was a time, but it was really wearing on my health, doing so much juggling, right? Juggling like crazy and living my dream. And as much as it was my dream, it was not sustainable long term. And, having the Airbnb has let me meet some really cool people from all over the United States and the world as well, but mostly United States, from everywhere. It's been great. Such lovely people. So didn't have a big following on YouTube at that point, so I was kind of just toying around. But I was thankful, to be doing readings for people, things like that, opening up some new stimulating things for me. So I was doing, my gratitude exercises to keep my vibration high. By the way, that's very important through changes. When you're navigating change, your vibration can go way down. So you want to do your gratitude exercises. I also have a video on that, but basically expressing gratitude to spirit throughout the day. So then the voice comes in. The same voice that told me about we had to wear masks. Of course, I thought the masks meant earthquakes and dust, not virus. I never associated that. I didn't know exactly what was coming, but I knew it was worldwide. Mostly it would affect me, but I could tell it was so big that it would be worldwide. And I just assumed it was earthquakes because I had visions of earthquakes and flooding and all that and geography changing, all of that. So I assumed it was that. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, as I'm expressing gratitude and thinking, life is going back to the way it was, but I have these changes, which I like. And maybe I'll do a little studio rental or once in a while, but not have the burden of having a full time on my back. And the voice comes in and said, this was only this pandemic. And they were also referring to 9/11. Like I was kind of being shown something there, but definitely the pandemic. They were sending me images. They weren't talking in sentences like in 2019. So it wasn't as clear. It was coming in through different clair senses, like, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, all at once. It was kind of coming in multiple ways. So I couldn't repeat it verbatim or even totally figure out what they're trying to say, other than the main point that what we went through at different points when the world seems to stop for a while. The first one was 9/11. The second one, because that affected the whole world too. The second one was the pandemic. And now the third one is going to be what's coming. And this is going to be so much bigger. So everything has been increasing. Um, you know, so that we can slowly increase our tolerance, we'll say, our tolerance and stretch ourselves. And also prepare. A lot of people since 2020 have kept their pantry stocked with at least a couple of months extra rotating their food supply, right? And that's a smart thing to do because you do not want to have any additional stress when the world seems to stop, right? Because the world will be stopping soon. I'm not sure how. I kind of got, but I'm not sure. There might be another virus. I wasn't sure what they were inferring. Definitely earth changes. I don't know, but it's so big. It's so big, bigger than what we experienced already, and devastating. So they were saying more devastation is coming, right? More devastation. Basically, they were saying clairaudiently, more devastation is coming. This past stuff was like preparation, you know, almost like it feels like a dress rehearsal compared to this big thing that's coming. All right. And not to get, they were also saying, don't get too comfortable. Life is not going back the way it was. It's definitely not going back. And I was, kind of like, whoa. I was really sad about that. But I'm just trying to stay open. I'm just trying to stay connected. High vibe, practice my gratitude, appreciation, listen on the inner. Be good to the people around you. Forgive, forgive people, no one's perfect. But don't take abuse. I'm not saying to take abuse, but there's just Get along, find common ground. We need to find common ground because we're going to have to cooperate together with what's coming. We're going to need each other. And there's been a lot of unusual, got to keep an eye on the time. I got to teach dance soon. Got to teach dance in 6 minutes. So I got 2 minutes left. We are coming into this time where we have to cooperate and we have to be calm and tuned in. And we tune in through our hearts. We tune in through our upper chakra senses, right? And you tune into your dreams, pay attention to signs, or even the way someone says something. Sometimes an angel is speaking through someone and they say something that leads you, that guides you. Okay. Sometimes my readings guide you. My readings that I do for free, the free tarot and oracle. Those are meant, your guides can come through. So you want to stay tuned in. You want to stay calm. You want to be prepared. You want to have extra water. I was even thinking like dry shampoo because we may not have water to bathe with. You know what I mean? So you won't, things like that. If you got depressed, like in my hair, I have to wash it every other day. And then when it gets oily, I literally get depressed. I get depressed, like my whole mood changes until I can wash it and shower. So things like that, things you need to keep your vibe high, conveniences, those are easy to take care of now. And years ago, I saw a lot of shipping issues. I didn't think the shipping issues would be caused by a tariff in the United States, high tariffs. I thought the shipping issues were from the flooding, but that may also come too. But we have empty ports right now. Things aren't being shipped, so we're not going to have supplies here in the United States. Other countries, like Canada's going to be fine, right? They're friendly with everybody else, except, deservedly not us right now. They've been very supportive until recently, and we can't blame them. I have a lot of nice Canadian audience members, by the way. Hi, Esther. So you want to really do what you can to prepare now, because planetarily, I am going to do a reading on February 2026 because something big is coming February 2026. We're going to have a planetary alignment that hasn't happened in the history of recorded Earth. Perhaps never. If we can go back in our computers hundreds of thousands of years, we can't find this planetary alignment. And we have a lot of really intense shifts in the planets right now throughout the next couple of months from all Earth and water signs in the slower moving planets to all air and fire. So I gotta go. I'll be back. I'll do my cards next time. And let me know what you think in the comments and please hit the like button. All right. Take care. Bye.